You see the camera flashes, the $1,000 suits, the smile that built an empire. You think you know the man, the mogul, the myth. For 30 years, Sean Diddy Combs has been the architect of a dream, a titan of music, fashion, and culture, a symbol of what's possible. But what if the man you thought you knew was a character? What if the empire you saw was built on a foundation of secrets? You've read the headlines. You've heard the accusations. You feel that pit in your stomach, that unsettling question of how someone so powerful could fall so far. You've asked yourself, what am I missing? Well, federal investigators have been asking the same question. And while the world was distracted by the lawsuits and the media circus, they've been digging, quietly, methodically, and now they've found something buried, something the public was never meant to see. Today, we don't just reread the headlines. We open the vault. We expose the new evidence, the texts, the tapes, the financial ledgers that prosecutors are preparing to unleash. This isn't the story you've been told. This is the story that could change everything. Act 1. The crack in the dam. Every empire has its breaking point. For Diddy, it was a single crack in a carefully constructed dam. Her name was Cassie Ventura. Her lawsuit wasn't just an accusation, it was a detonation. It painted a chilling picture, alleging years of absolute control, brutal abuse, and suffocating coercion. It was a story many found hard to believe. Until it wasn't, because that one crack unleashed a flood. One accuser became 2, then 4, then more. The stories, though from different people across different decades, echoed with an eerie similarity. Then came the helicopters, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the IRS. This wasn't a celebrity scandal anymore. This was a federal takedown. They didn't just knock. They broke down doors. They seized everything: phones, computers, hard drives, the digital soul of a multi-million-dollar operation. And what are they looking for? You've heard the charges: sex trafficking, racketeering. But let's be clear about what racketeering, the RICO charge, truly means. Prosecutors aren't just trying to prove Diddy committed crimes. They are trying to prove that Diddy's entire business was a crime, a criminal enterprise, operating under the guise of bad boy entertainment. It's a dramatic twist that reframes the entire narrative. The accusation isn't just that he was a bad actor. The accusation is that he was a kingpin. And while we've been watching this storm gather, investigators have been piecing together a mosaic of evidence behind the scenes, far from the public eye. Evidence they believe proves their case. Act 2. The vault. Unsealing the new evidence. What does it take to bring down a titan? More than just accusations. It takes a paper trail, a digital ghost. It takes receipts. And according to legal insiders closely following the grand jury investigation, prosecutors now have a mountain of them. First, there's the digital trail. Investigators are meticulously combing through gigabytes of private text messages. These aren't just casual conversations. The Law and Crime Network has reported that prosecutors are focusing on exchanges that allegedly show a pattern of coercion. Messages that discuss finding party girls. Coded language about what was expected of them. Role-playing scenarios that prosecutors will argue were a form of psychological manipulation. Think of it not as a simple text thread, but as a corporate playbook for control. Then, there's the money trail. An empire runs on money, but prosecutors will argue this empire used money as a weapon. They've uncovered detailed financial logs, allegedly linking Diddy and his associates to a web of structured payments. These aren't just random wire transfers. Imagine a corporate ledger for a criminal enterprise. Prosecutors claim these logs show payments sent to alleged victims, oftentimes suspiciously close to incidents of abuse. A five-figure payment that lands the day after a woman is silenced. Funds transferred to fixers and associates. They'll argue it's not generosity. It's a meticulously documented system of hush money. But perhaps the most chilling evidence is what you can't see in a document. Secret video and audio recordings, pulled from sealed civil settlements, recovered from seized devices. This is the evidence Diddy's lawyers will fight tooth and nail to keep out of court. What do these tapes show? Who is on them? The final piece of the puzzle? The human element. New witnesses. Former employees, bodyguards, assistants, studio engineers. The people who saw the day-to-day operations from the inside. They claim to have witnessed abuse firsthand, to have seen blackmail and cover-ups orchestrated from the top down. As one legal analyst put it, it's one thing for an accuser to tell her story. It's another for the man who drove the car or managed the house to say, "I was there. I saw it." This isn't just a collection of ugly stories anymore. It's a structured case, a timeline, a financial web, a chorus of voices, and it's all aimed at one man. Act 3. The battle before the trial. But here's a truth the headlines often miss. Having evidence and using it are two very different things. Before the jury hears a single word, a war is waged in silence, inside a judge's chambers. It's called admissibility. And this is the next major battleground. Prosecutors are preparing a barrage of motions. They want to show the jury everything. They will argue that the texts, the financial logs, the secret recordings, they aren't separate incidents. They are chapters in the same long, dark story. They want to bring in expert witnesses to explain the psychology of coercion, to tell the jury, this is how a predator operates. This is a pattern. Their goal is to paint a portrait of a criminal mastermind. On the other side, Diddy's defense team, a squad of the best lawyers money can buy, is preparing for a war of attrition. They will fight every single piece of evidence. They will call it hearsay. They will argue it's just gossip from disgruntled ex-employees. They will claim the recordings were obtained illegally. Their most powerful argument? Prejudice. They will tell the judge, "Your Honor, this evidence isn't designed to prove a crime. It's designed to assassinate a man's character, to poison the jury against him before the trial even begins." This is a high-stakes chess match. Every piece of evidence the judge allows in is a victory for the prosecution. Every piece thrown out is a lifeline for the defense. The outcome of this hidden battle will likely decide Diddy's fate before a jury is even selected. Because the story the jury is allowed to hear is the only one that matters. Act 4. An empire on the brink. If this evidence reaches the jury, the stakes are not just high, they are absolute. An empire built over 30 years, once valued at nearly $1 billion, could be turned to dust. The charges for federal sex trafficking and racketeering carry sentences of up to life in prison. Not a few years in a minimum security facility. We're talking about the silence of a federal cell for the rest of his natural life. Then comes the financial annihilation. Asset forfeiture. It's a legal term that means the government takes everything. Every platinum plaque, every Ciroc partnership, every share in Revolt TV, the mansions in Miami, the penthouses in New York, the sprawling estate in Los Angeles, seized and auctioned off to the highest bidder. The bad boy legacy, dismantled piece by piece. But beyond the money, beyond the freedom, looms the final, personal cost. His legacy, like a pharaoh building his pyramid. Diddy spent a lifetime crafting his image. The ultimate hustler, the king of cool, the man who put hip-hop in the boardroom. If convicted, that pyramid comes crashing down. His name, once a synonym for success, could become a byword for something dark and predatory. A cautionary tale, erased from the history he helped write. That is the true weight of the evidence now sitting in a prosecutor's vault. It's not just a key to a prison cell. It's a key to a man's entire existence. The gears of justice turn slowly, but they are turning. More witnesses are rumored to be in talks with federal agents. More sealed documents are being petitioned for release. And here's the final chilling thought. The question that investigators are now asking. This case may not end with Diddy. The RICO charge is designed to dismantle organizations. The next question is, who were his lieutenants? Who knew? Who helped? Who looked the other way? This story is bigger than one man. It could be about an entire system that enabled him. The next domino is about to fall. And now, we turn the question to you. Based on what we know is surfacing, what do you believe is the single most dangerous piece of evidence for the defense? Is it the eyewitnesses, the money trail, or the secret recordings? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read all of them. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve and get the real story as it breaks, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because the next development in this trial won't just be a headline. It could be the final verdict on an empire.